tonight's debate, 26 minutes hence, has already given the McCain campaign one advantage. It is this. It has taken attention away from McCain himself today saying that the president should veto the Wall Street bailout bill. In our third story tonight, McCain just voted for the bill. The truly gobsmacking video clips in a moment, but both campaigns focused on the economy today. Senator Obama once again needled McCain for saying the fundamentals of the economy are strong, with the Labor Department tomorrow expected to announce another 100,000 jobs vanished from the U.S. economy. He said the country needs a president who understands what it means to hear a grown man choke up because he can't provide for his family.
Because he hasn't just lost his job, he's lost his pension, he's lost his health care, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to go home that day and explain to his wife and his kids that they are in trouble, that he may not be able to take care of them the way he wants. There's something wrong about that. There's something un-American about that.
McCain, too, was talking about the economy today. McCain's prescription for America's economy is, of course, based on reducing government spending, which he bases on eliminating congressional pork barrel spending, pet projects slapped onto larger bills. With that in mind, here on MSNBC today, McCain was read a considerable list of pork projects added to the Senate bailout bill and was asked why. Remember, Senator McCain voted for the bailout bill last night.
Why did these items have to be in this critical bill?
Well, that's just the way the system is working in Washington, and the reason why it's got to be fixed and it's got to be changed. And no matter what the stakes are, you've got to stop this by starting to veto bills that come across the president's desk. They can't help themselves.
McCain voted for the bill. Because McCain voted for the bill he just said the president should veto no matter what the stakes are, Mika Brzezinski asked the obvious follow-up, reminding Senator McCain how he himself just described the bill that he himself just voted for.
Why then didn't you vote against a bill that is corrupting and stand up to pork and all this spending during an economic crisis that some say this puts this country on the brink of economic disaster?
Because of what you just said, Mika, that this bill is putting us on the brink of economic disaster.
Repeating our third story tonight, McCain voted for the bill. For the bill, he now says, is putting us on the brink of economic disaster. And no, he did not correct himself. For the bill, he now says the president should veto. Here's my colleague, Rachel Maddow. Can you help him out here? What was he trying to say? What is he trying to say?
If we want to be as generous as possible, we can guess that he was trying to say that we're only considering this bill because we are on the brink of economic disaster. But as you say, he did not correct himself, and he seemed very sure of himself and actually sort of mad when he said that the bill puts us on the brink of economic disaster. So we have no idea what he meant. But in the larger sense, we are at a point where his position on the economic crisis, on the bailout, on what we ought to do next is sort of indecipherable, as is the Republican party's. McCain said he's for a bailout. The RNC is running $5 million worth of ads attacking Barack Obama for being for the same thing. The Republican leadership says they're for it. Their members voted against it. The members say they're against it because it's too expensive, but adding an extra $100 billion to it brought their votes along. I mean, McCain voted for it last night and then told Joe and Mika this morning that it should be vetoed. I don't know what the Republican position is on this or Senator McCain's position is on this.
I think we have an analogy finally with 33 days to go. It is that with those giant fire hoses that in the old-fashioned fire fighting departments with the giant hoses and they're all manual labor and the thing is just pumping like crazy and they lose control of it and it just swings widely. I mean, it's very forceful and it might occasionally put out a fire, but it's just utterly out of control and bears no resemblance to what happened 30 seconds earlier.
They're either an unmanned fire hose, or drunk would be another way to look at it, or they have a strategy, which is to seem incoherent and confusing and non-committal for as long as possible until the Democrats actually decide that something needs to be done with or without the confused Republicans. The Democrats make a move essentially on their own without majority Republican support, and then the Republicans attack the Democrats for having passed something. That seems like a cogent political strategy here. Just don't commit to anything and attack whatever the Democrats do.
But there seems to be a little touch. I'm not want to accuse you of sophistry there, but it does seem to have an element of sophistry to it. It sounds very nice, but even does it not also imply that there's an incapability of making up one's mind or one's collective mind, or it's a shame to lose one's mind here? I mean, given how many opportunities McCain has to address these issues and make similar gaffes in the remaining 33 days?
Well, but what is the economic position here that he could take a stand on? What is is it for fiscal conservatism? Mm-hmm. Then why is the pork helping them pass this bill? That was pork put in to attract House Republican votes. They had to make the bill less fiscally responsible in order to attract fiscally conservative votes. It makes no sense. McCain wanting to campaign for the bill while the Republican Party campaigns against it. They're taking every position on the bill possible. The only thing I can think is that they are looking ahead to an economy that, frankly, is going to stink no matter what happens. This bailout bill is designed not to make the economy all better, but to stop it from getting a lot worse a lot quickly, much more quickly than it otherwise would. So the economy is not going to be great. And if you can attribute whatever happens next in the economy to Democrats, because Republicans had no obvious position on it, then at least you've got politics, even if you have no policy.
All right. 40 seconds, and that's about how much time I have for you to give me just a random thought about tonight's carnival in St. Louis.
I think that Sarah Palin is personable, she is poised, and there are very low expectations for her. And I think that no matter what happens, she can't do worse than she did with Katie Couric. It's probably going to be a good night for her.
So if she doesn't accidentally light the stage on fire, it's a push.
That would be exciting. That could be positive.
Nice.
Look, they've shook up the race again.
That's right. Rachel Maddow, and we will see you again after the debate and figure out what happened, if anything. Thank you.
Thanks.